Kaufman is alive. I look at comic books new and old. Today I'm looking at a new comic book, King Spawn number 39, published by Image Comics in October of 2024. It's a $2.99 book. I got the Sean Crystal cover. Todd McFarlane is the writer. Yildiray Skinar is the artist here on the interiors. So we've just kind of got a standard Spawn cover of just Spawn here on the cover, not really telling us too much about what's going to be happening in this book, which seems to be the MO of King Spawn covers these days. Kind of a cool drawing, though. Some exaggerated shapes in this pose that Spawn's in here. I wonder what the medium is that this artist used. It almost doesn't look like pencil and ink, so I'm not too sure. The story here, though, we pick up with Sam and Twitch investigating a murder. They say that the murders just keep getting younger. The victims keep getting younger. This kid's only 15. They say he didn't stand a chance. So we get some narration here from the perspective of Spawn. Todd McFarlane does a pretty good job writing here in this story, I feel like. Blood, B-L-U-D-D, is the name of the leader of the vampires here in this universe. And the vampires are in league with the angels. And they're trying to take out all the demonic forces that are stuck here on Earth, like Spawn, who've all lost their powers. So the angels have all lost their powers as well. But if you're reading the main Spawn title, we've learned that there's a whole group of angels that are actually out and killing vampires. So I think the allegiance between the vampires and the angels is going to be short-lived. So we've got this assassin, this ninja assassin who's been sent after Spawn by the vampires here. And Spawn is saying, though, even though he's lost his powers, he's still one of the best trained soldiers, and he's got better training than anyone who tries to come after him. They always forget that. So he's talking about this character, the ninja assassin, is just human. Spawn can tell. So Spawn knows that he's going to be able to defeat this guy, and Spawn also has somehow picked up these giant angel wings that, even though he's lost his powers, he's going to be able to have an advantage in this fight because he's got these giant wings. Like, he uses it to cover up the ninja assassin's vision here. Spawn tries to take him down. The assassin knows that the hell spawns are adverse to light, so he uses this like light grenade to try and blind Spawn. And he's actually able to take him down. But Spawn is explaining throughout all of the narration that sometimes you got to make your opponent think that they're winning to gain an advantage, which is what Spawn's doing here. So a lot of art of war in this book, it seems like, by Todd McFarlane. We get a lot of philosophy into battle here from Spawn as he's trying to get the one up on these guys who think they've captured him here. They've got Spawn all chained up here in the room, in the back of the truck, I should say, and his wings are in here. It's pretty goofy. Spawn doesn't have his powers, but he can still attach wings to himself and have full control over them. I don't understand how that works. But we've got the ninja character. He's in the back seat here. The driver explains that he doesn't like to talk very much, so the other guy needs to just shut up. But he keeps running his mouth, and he's talking about how these superhero types are always just big pussies, and he wants to know what they look like under here. So he lifts the masks off of Spawn, and he says, "Hey, that looks a lot like you." And then we see that Al Simmons has switched places with the ninja assassin here. And he makes short work of the guy in the back of the truck, and then we kind of learn how Spawn did this, talking about how you never turn your back on your opponent. So as soon as the ninja did, Spawn was able to put the knife right through him and then he basically just switched places with him so that the guys picking him up would think that they got Spawn. So Al's able to kill the driver and the other guy. He crashes the van and busts out through the back. And then we get kind of a new look for Spawn and Al Simmons. I wonder if they're going to keep this into the next issue. I think it'd be kind of cool if they did, because since, Al doesn't have his Spawn powers right now, it'd be cool to give him kind of this ninja look for at least a few issues. He talks about how he can come back for his costume, so, but he's going out into the night to, he says, scare the shit out of them. So in this last panel, you can notice they used it looks like a real image of a city, and they kind of superimposed a few drawings of some cars and Al Simmons walking down the street there. So I like this last final page though, pretty cool. So I've been on the fence about continuing this series. Yeah, it's a pretty inconsequential book. It's just kind of ancillary to the main Spawn title. You could not read it and it really wouldn't make a difference in figuring out what's going on throughout all the Spawn storylines, I feel like. I've collected every issue of this book so far, so I'll probably collect issue 40, the next issue coming out, just so I can say I got issues 1 through 40. And then I'll kind of probably decide after the next issue if I'm going to continue picking this up. I do like the Spawn comics, but one of my viewers pointed out in the comments section is, you could not read Spawn and you wouldn't even know the difference. But then when you do actually read a Spawn book, they're always fun and a good read, and they've got great artwork. So that's how I feel on this King Spawn series. Pretty inconsequential, but a fun book nonetheless. So like I said, I'll probably read maybe one more issue and make my decision whether to keep picking up this series. So thanks again for watching. I do post daily comic book reviews, so if you're tired of all my reviews of all these new comics, I do have reviews of old comics on my channel, so go check that out. And I'll see you guys on the next one.